the myth of solar energy, in fact, the myth of renewable sources of energy. The plain fact is that renewable sources of energy, be they solar or wind or geothermal or any of those, simply is not capable of meeting most of America's energy needs. As a result of massive government spending and huge subsidies, it's gradually inched its way up to 5 or 6% of our total energy supply. Before Obama took office, it was only 2%. And the limits on it are largely technological. It's very difficult to store the energy. When the sun isn't shining, it's very difficult for a solar panel to produce energy and can't use stored energy from before. There's a huge transmission loss, particularly with wind energy, when it's got to be transmitted from way out in the ocean or in some remote desert location. It is just a very expensive source of energy that is not really reliable. Now, there is a source of energy that is very reliable, inexpensive, we have in abundance, called natural gas. Now, natural gas has only half the carbon pollution of coal and much less than oil. We have it in abundance in the United States, and we have so much of it from fracking that the price has dropped considerably, way below the price of coal and below the equivalent price of oil. And the result has been an explosion in the number, bad word, an expansion in the number of people using natural gas for electricity. It's gone from about 15% of our energy production to almost 30% in the last 4 or 5 years, and will continue to grow. Coal, in the meantime, has shrunk from over 50% to only about 30% itself. And the problem is that the left doesn't think natural gas is good enough, because natural gas still has carbon dioxide emissions. And if anything has that, they don't want to touch it. So they'd rather screw up the whole economy, increase charges to consumers many, many fold, impose a burden on poor people and working people who can afford it least, so that they get pure renewable energy, no matter how deep the subsidy, rather than natural gas, which is almost as good, but not perfect. It's an example of the perfectionism of the left and this almost theological avoidance of carbon emissions, that absolutely distorting all priorities and hurting the very people that the left most wants to help. Thanks for watching.